John Deere. Pistorius Farms is a seventh-generation corn and soybean operation located in central Illinois. In my opinion, what makes Sloan stand out for me is the service, the support. They're your farming partner, because without them, we can't keep running during our busiest seasons. When things are out of their hands, they've always been able to keep us going. I'm Craig Pollock with Pistorius Farms, and this is why I think Sloan's first.
7 minutes after 7 o'clock is news time on this Monday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. As we get to the news here today, let's take a look at those rainfall totals that fell in central Illinois from Saturday. And we start here in Clinton, in DeWitt County, I should say, and in Clinton, about a quarter of an inch of rain fell. Same for the Farmer City area in DeWitt County, about a quarter of an inch of rainfall reported in DeWitt County. In the Monticello area in Piatt County, about a fifth of an inch of rainfall in Monticello. North of Monticello along the highway, about a quarter of an inch of rain reported there. In the northernmost portion of Piatt County, north of Mansfield at the Champaign County line, about a fifth of an inch of rainfall. South of the highway along the Champaign County line, also about a fifth of an inch of rain. And south of Mansfield and to the west, about a quarter of an inch of rainfall reported there. Moving to the southern portion of Piatt County, south of Cisco, about a third of an inch of rainfall at one marker. Another about 2/3 of an inch of rainfall reported just north of Cerro Gordo to the west of Bemint, about a third of an inch of rainfall reported there. Between Bemint and Hammond in southern Piatt County, about 4/10 of an inch of rainfall reported there. Moving to Macon County, where south of Oriena along the highway north of Decatur, about 9/10 of an inch of rainfall reported there. There was some heavier rains that came down in parts of Macon County on Saturday as well. Moving to the west, south of Latham, near the Macon and Logan County line, about a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Between Mount Pulaski and Kenny on 54 in the far eastern portion of Logan County, about a fifth of an inch of rainfall reported there. About a third of an inch of rainfall in Lincoln. Also a report of a fifth of an inch of rainfall in Lincoln. Between Lincoln and Atlanta on 55, a third of an inch of rainfall. In the northern portion of Logan County, between Hartsburg and Atlanta, about a third of an inch of rainfall. To the west of Hartsburg and south of Emden in northwest Logan County, a quarter of an inch of rainfall reported there. Down in the southern portion of Logan County, this is almost a tri-county area north of Illiopolis, where Sangamon, Logan, and Macon County all meet. About a fifth of an inch of rainfall reported there. We move to the northern portion of the listening area. In Bloomington, Normal, and McLean County, reports ranging between a fifth of an inch of rainfall, a quarter of an inch of rainfall, and a third of an inch of rainfall. In Bloomington, Normal, a quarter of an inch of rainfall in Downs, quarter of an inch of rainfall near Leroy, quarter of an inch of rainfall in Hayworth. Between Hayworth and Leroy, south of 136 at the DeWitt County line, about a quarter of an inch of rainfall. In the far southeast portion of McLean County, north of Bellflower on 54, about a quarter of an inch of rainfall fell there. A third of an inch of rainfall fell in Lexington. 3/10 of an inch of rainfall fell in Danvers. To Champaign County in Champaign-Urbana, their rainfall reports ranging between about a 1/10 and a fifth of an inch of rainfall. Not much more than that in Champaign-Urbana. About a fifth of an inch of rainfall in St. Joseph in the far eastern portion of Champaign County. South of Ogden, north of Homer, reports ranging between a fifth and a quarter of an inch of rainfall. About a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall near Sidney in Champaign County, a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall near Philo, a fifth of an inch of rainfall near Sodorus. Rainfall in the Mahomet area yesterday, ranging between a 10th and a 5th of an inch of rainfall. North of Mahomet, south of Fisher, about a 5th of an inch of rainfall. And in the far northwest portion of Champaign County, about a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. This is several miles to the east of Bellflower in northwest Champaign County from Saturday. Taking a look at other parts of central Illinois from those Saturday rains, less than a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall in most of Christian County, reports near Taylorville, reports near Edinburgh, and also reports out of Pana and Assumption, all less than a 1/10 of an inch of rain. But Shelbyville, about a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall in Shelby County from Saturday. Coles County, far southern Coles County, about a 1/5 of an inch of rainfall, a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall reported in Mattoon. Douglas County in Tuscola, about a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Far eastern Douglas County near Newman, about a 1/5 of an inch of rainfall reported there. In the Peoria area, much more significant rainfall totals as you move north in the Peoria area. Reports between a 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. In Washington County, and Washington, I should say, in Tazewell County, about 4/10 of an inch of rainfall, a 1/3 of an inch of rain. In Morton, near Tremont, a couple of reports between 3/10 and 4/10 of an inch of rainfall in Tazewell County from Saturday, and near Havana in Mason County, about a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall reported there. As always, Rainfall Totals, courtesy of CocoRoz.org. That is the community collaborative rain, hail, and snow network, CocoRoz.org. Easily today was able to backdate and find those rainfall totals, and you can do that. You can also select a range. I don't know why, but I thought we had more rainfall than this over the weekend, and so I tried to use a range, but it basically came out to the same amounts as really only Saturday was when we saw substantial rain in central Illinois. So, but you can use that feature as well. And again, it's all at CocoRoz.org. It is 13 minutes after the hour here on this Monday morning. Let's get to the news here this morning. Crime is increasing in Clinton, and Police Chief Ben Lauer says there's a couple of reasons why. He doesn't have specific data, but the reports that hit his desk are more frequent and similar in crimes. He says it is a general increase in common crimes they see.
And while I don't have specific numbers in terms of increases, I can just tell you in reading reports and looking at our arrest reports and speaking with our patrol staff and seeing the things that they're dealing with on a regular basis, we've had a tremendous influx in what I would call misdemeanor and petty crime, and also serious crime. You know, knock on wood, we've not had a major incident as of late, but we are keeping extremely busy with what I would just call petty and misdemeanor crime. A lot of the same repetitive offenses, criminal trespass to properties. You know, individuals have been warned that their presence on a particular property are forbidden, or within a particular business are forbidden. We're constantly dealing with those same people returning to the same properties that they've been given trespass warnings to, conducting arrests for trespass, for theft, for petty theft. You know, we talk about the theft of bicycles. Once or twice a year, we have an auction where we auction off our unclaimed recovered bicycles, and we've had a tremendous increase in theft of bicycles, lawn ornaments, basically anything that's not nailed down.
Part of the reason for the increase in crime is the 2020 bail reform legislation out of Springfield. The chief explains crimes that would have once kept a criminal in jail for a significant amount of time are now letting those same individuals out much quicker.
But it does seem like those petty / misdemeanor crimes we've had a tremendous increase in. And as we were talking about before we went onto the air, I attribute a lot of that to recent legislation in recent years and incoming legislation that takes effect January 1, and that is the Bail Reform Act and the elimination of cash bail. Quite frankly, when you look at a community the size of Clinton, when you have a decrease in our jail census based on legislation and just, you know, the current trends of the criminal justice system, you've got more petty thieves, petty criminals, misdemeanor committing crime criminals. Mm-hmm. When you have more of those out in our community, you're bound to have a higher influx of crime. I was actually just messaging with the sheriff prior to going on the air as to, obviously the sheriff's department. The sheriff maintains the DeWitt County Jail. Aside from the federal inmates that we used to house, he indicates that on a regular basis, our jail census is about 50% of what it was even 5 or 10 years ago.
Chief Flowers explains with bail reform, when those individuals are not being held in jail, they're back out in the community and continue to commit the crimes they were before.
Well, what happened to those other 20, 30, 40 inmates? Well, they're back out on our streets. I'm not saying that they're not committing crimes. They're committing crimes. They're oftentimes incarcerated for a matter of just a day or two, or a maximum of maybe a week. And then they're released back into our community with a notice to appear in court, say 30 days from the time of their arrest. They are back out in our community. Well, if we took 20 or 30 of those petty criminals out of the community, well, quite frankly, yes, our crime rate would sink significantly from what it is today. So attribute a lot of that to our current criminal justice system and legislation where, I'm not going to argue necessarily the concept behind the Bail Reform Act or the elimination of cash bail. There's a lot of research and whatnot that goes into that. But the fact of the matter is it does put more criminals in our society and in our communities. And so this, in my opinion, is a reflection of that.
Chief Flowers says the coming elimination of cash bail that goes into effect January 1 is going to significantly make things more difficult for authorities, and in some cases, victims. We'll have more on that soon on regional radio. Leadership for a pair of local business programs at area high schools is in need of mentors. Melanie Brown facilitates the Central Illinois CEO program, and Lisa Shepard facilitates the Sangamon Valley CEO program. They are in need of local business owners to guide their students.
Mentorship is such a key component of our CEO program. Each student is paired with one professional mentor because we are asking them to go outside of the normal aspects of an academic school year. There's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of things that they are doing for the first time. And they need a professional who either has done similar things or connect them to others who have done similar things to help them along their path and encourage them. And the neat thing about both of our programs being in their 4th year is that we've built that foundation of some solid mentors, but with moving to 10 in each program, we're going to need more and need those business professionals that want to invest of their time and their knowledge in these students.
Brown explains mentors are anyone with a business background who meets with students once a month in person. They're there to listen to the students, guide them through any challenges they may be facing.
So our mentors are individuals who have heard about the program and approached us and said, hey, how can I get involved? It's also any of our investors. We reach out to them and ask if they want to be involved at a higher level where they would be assigned a student and be engaging with the program and the students regularly. But really, anyone that is listening to this or has heard about the CEO program that has business background, has engineering, marketing, banking, it doesn't matter. Professional background is what we're looking for. And if they are willing to pour into the lives of these students, we would love to have them reach out to us. We typically ask that they are able to meet with us once a month in person with the students. My program, we always do the first Friday of every month during normal class time, which is 7:30 to 9 a.m. And in that class time, we usually do some type of team building activity where all of the students and mentors get to interact together. And then they have one-on-one time with the student to say, what are you working on? What are your troubles? The reason we look for mentors from all different aspects is because when you're putting together a business, you're going to have all different things, all different parts, and all of their businesses, all of our students' businesses vary so much from whether it's a product or a service. And so it's just really neat to have them the students experience seeing the perspectives from an engineer, from a marketing person, from a numbers person.
A mentor and student relationship works best when the match is a good fit. Shepard says that's what they try to do. She notes they want to try to do things before the matches are made to make sure that they have a solid fit.
Absolutely. Our very first meeting with the mentors and the students is before the mentors and students are paired. So we have one meeting, like Melanie said, to do some type of speed dating activity or some type of get to know you activity. And we don't necessarily ask for, okay, who exactly should you be matched with, but ask the question, is there somebody that wouldn't make a good match for you, so that we're avoiding those matches that may not work out well, but then matching them on their interests and where they want to go in the program. And so far, those matches have worked out really well.
It's not too late to become a mentor. Shepherd encourages any local business owner that might like to invest in a young person in their community to reach out to the respective CEO chapter in your area.
And if you'd like to become a mentor, kind of the nuts and the bolts of the process is that you would reach out to one of the CEO board members or to Melanie or I. That can be done via an inquiry on our Facebook page, or our email addresses are on our Facebook page or on our websites. So they could reach out and email one of us. And then once they start that process, there is a background check for mentors. We want to keep those students safe. And so they would have to go through the background check. And then like she said, in September, early September, October, there's usually that first kickoff meeting. And then by October, at least in our program, it's October. I don't know if it's the same. They are paired with their individual mentee. And then from the time they are paired, they meet in that mentor meeting once a month.
You can learn more about the two programs by visiting centralillinoisceo.com or Sangamon Valley CEO.com. And both groups are on Facebook as well. It is 23 minutes after the hour here on this Monday morning. More news to get to coming your way on the WHOW Morning Show.
Having a hard time finding the correct new car, truck, SUV, or crossover to fit your needs? This is Scott Baum from Bob Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Some lots look low on inventory, so go to our website, look at our pre-order and reserve tab. You'll see inventory in transit, which are built and on their way to Clinton, and in production. New Chevys and Buicks, which are being built and will arrive soon. Or you can always call our sales team. They can help you find the correct one just for you. BombChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
It is 23 minutes after the hour here this morning. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. New legislation would make parents who sign off on their child's FOID card criminally liable for any related damages. The bill comes from Representative Mark Batnick of Plainfield, who says since parents have to sponsor the FOID application of a child under 21, they should be held responsible if that kid causes harm with a firearm.
They would be civilly and criminally liable for the actions. And if you're concerned about your son or daughter doing something bad, maybe you should think twice about signing off on a FOID card for them, because essentially what you're doing is you're vouching for your child.
He says parents are in the best position to determine if it's appropriate for their son or daughter under 21 to have a firearm.
We're learning more about just brain development. And when you look at a lot of the shootings that happen that are horrific, similar to the Highland Park shooting, they seem to be done by kids that are mostly men that are, mid-late teens to early mid-20s.
The situation was seen in the Highland Park shooting, where the suspect had obtained a FOID card with his parents' consent despite some previous warning signs. The heat that has been fairly consistent this summer has come with it a lack of precipitation in some parts of the state. That's causing headaches for gardeners. You need to water your plants religiously during hot and dry periods, but not to the point of drowning them, according to one garden expert. Sarah Ruth, U of I Extension Program Coordinator, says if you pay attention, your plants will show you when they need a drink.
Plants need approximately an inch of rain or water, I should say, per week to keep them healthy and growing vigorously. Definitely, if you're growing anything in containers, your containers will dry out rather quickly. So be sure that those containers are being watered daily, if not, twice a day.
You can move potted plants and hanging baskets to shadier areas. Experts agree you should not fertilize in extreme heat. Land Grant University scientists recently offered House lawmakers testimony on innovations in climate-smart research that could lead to greater resiliency in agriculture. Rod Bain has this report.
How can climate research at our nation's land-grant universities and public and private research institutions help build resiliency in agriculture? That was the focus of a recent House Agriculture Committee hearing, with land-grant scientists offering testimony on the subject. Sylvie Broder of Purdue University is also a member of the American Society of Agronomy. She believes open data will be essential in building resiliency models and applications through tools and innovation.
My focus is on challenges associated with achieving open and interoperable agricultural data to accelerate innovation for food security and resilience, and to address the urgent need for capacity development to enable data-driven agriculture.
Broder adds data for management recommendations are currently an untapped opportunity to leverage public research investment.
Implementation of data-driven decision requires public-private data networks that feed on-farm data back into decision support tools and assist farmers in choosing which practices will have the most significant effect on their land.
Benjamin Holton of Cornell University says U.S. agriculture needs what he refers to as human genome level investment in R&D to increase ag resiliency.
If we make significant R&D investments across federal and state agencies to incentivize university, public-private partnerships, I envision a future where U.S. agriculture leads in climate solutions, with carbon as a central commodity to uplift rural communities while producing even better food with fewer environmental impacts.
He notes in addition to innovations already in practice, research should continue in what he calls game-changing approaches, such as
synthetic biology to boost photosynthesis in crops, the deployment of digital agriculture in AI, and new feed additives to cut methane from cow burps, offering promising suites of solutions for cutting-edge research and innovation.
Prairie View A&M University's Ali Fair says 1890s land-grant institutions have several active climate research projects, allowing training for future scientists in the realm of ag resiliency.
For instance, at Prairie View A&M University, the Get Ag Smart project, US NIFA-funded project, in collaboration with colleagues from Texas A&M University, we have been working on building capacity in smart agriculture technologies to train Texas underserved communities and support them start high-paying careers in this area.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
The time is 28 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Monday morning. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.